Like you're riling him up.
You know what it is? He's very refined. Can I also say his kids were not allowed at the meets when we were younger?
Really?
When we were younger, then Gene, we started lifting RPS, and my kids started coming.
It's the dancing bear from the circus. It's the escaped dancing bear.
Exactly.
And they had that reputation. Oh, you don't want to go there. I'll tell them, I said, listen, I'm going to sit in my house with a $20 bill. And you can sit in your house. And I want you to steal the $20 bill sitting in your house that's in my hand.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Big Manz Cabana podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Lepore, and I'm joined with three very special people in my life. Sonny, Zotek, fuck, see, I told you I was going to fuck it up. Sam Esposito, and Doug Ferrioli. I did ask Sonny before, I'm like, dude, I look at your name every day on your truck, and
Still can't pronounce
it.
Very nice, very nice.
What is the saying you say, Sam? It's last seat, first row, or wait.
Yes,
First,
last row, last seat. You go from first row, first seat. My 7th grade math teacher used to arrange seating after every test. High score, first row, first seat. The low score, last row, last seat. So, Matthew, you've been in the last row for quite a while.
Yeah.
Dunce cap on. This question.
Dude, this is gonna be rough. So anyways, you guys have been doing this whole lifting thing, so I see you guys came to play, but not Sonny because he
I'm special.
It's a self-promotion. That's
exactly right.
That's a SOTAC original.
SOTAC, yes.
That's one of the things that we on Sundays that we do, is we think of T-shirts to make up.
Yeah.
We've been doing that for years. I mean, we always got a couple of good ones here and there. This is one of the ones we came up with. It's great.
This is a Ferrioli original.
That's right.
That's a true story.
That is sick, the Mutant Mafia. So one of the things I wanted to ask you guys is how did that all start with the Mutant Mafia? Because
Doug.
damn.
Not 100% me.
99.
No, all of us equal credit.
No, and actually, it's more you. I mean, you came up with the name, but we always wanted to have something that bonded us together. You're the one that came up with the
We
name.
train together.
Yeah.
We compete together. We lift together. We're friends. And then we turned it into something. A small powerlifting group that got a little larger and larger. and here we are. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. So when you guys obviously weren't always at the gym, right? It was Roberto's, and where was that?
I was never officially a member of Roberto's, so
Okay.
I cannot say I was a member of Roberto's.
It was the original one started off in someone's garage. Was it Louis' parents' garage?
No, that was it was Lou's garage, and actually, and that was 1972.
Okay.
We became members in 77, 78 when it moved across the street.
I was in the mid-'80s when I moved literally across the street. If you go down in Norristown, I guess one of the main drags is Markley Street.
Yeah.
There was a strip mall there, and there's a middle school and then a strip mall down the back, just the side road down the back. That's where the Roberto's gym was.
Oh wow.
And a lot of big time people came out of there.
Yeah.
This little gym with no air conditioning, and thank God we had somebody put a fan in the one day.
11 o'clock at night, I'm breaking the block wall. The only time I had to do it was at nighttime after the gym closed.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I see these two cop cars come over, flashlights. What are you doing? What are you breaking? I said, I'm not breaking in. I'm putting a new fan in. So they ended up calling up Louis and asking, what's this guy doing? He's putting a fan in, a 48-inch fan. When that fan went on, man, it just like pulled everything right out. Everything
Really?
right out. Yeah. We built it into the wall.
Wow.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. You could barely hear when that thing went on.
Really?
It was unbelievable. Had flaps on the outside and all, so you couldn't climb in or anything else. But I did it at nighttime with one of my laborers. I just didn't have a choice. The only time I had was nighttime.
That's why I talk so loud now.
He's still in front of the fan.
I've always
He's
been
still
loud.
there mentally.
I've always been loud. When you're around the construction equipment, always loud. You
Yeah.
always got to make sure that somebody's hearing you. God forbid something's out of, falls or falling or something. You make sure somebody, you make sure they hear.
It's a Mason thing. Every Mason yells all day long.
Really?
Yes. So if you're soft and you're on a Mason crew, you're going to take it the wrong way. That's just how they communicate.
Oh, interesting.
Pretty much. I have to agree there.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing.
Damn. So when you guys came there, so would you say it was more like a West Side kind of starting of it?
Oh yeah,
Because I know they started in Louis' garage,
yeah.
and they were putting things down so there wasn't dirt.
Basically, it was all guys. I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
gyms are today. You have the ladies in there doing CrossFit, powerlifting, lifting. There weren't any ladies in there.
There were no women at all. None.
So it was
Not
all either big time bodybuilders who were nationally world ranked. World they won world competitions. Diego winning worlds.
Yep.
Wow.
To nationally ranked powerlifters, world ranked powerlifters, WWE, WWF
Yeah.
wrestlers,
Yep.
and then pro football players. Oh yeah, Mike Ruth. Mike Ruth was at the gym. He had a full 4-year scholarship to Boston College. He was a defensive lineman and played at Boston College for 4 years and was the #1 draft pick by the New England Patriots.
What?
And
Yeah.
he played there for 9 years. Mike was a freak.
Yeah, serious power, that guy, man. Serious power.
You'd have 400 or 500 pounds on the squat rack. He's walking in with jeans and cowboy boots. Mind if I work in? No, go right ahead.
What, you gonna say no to? No.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say
so,
no.
And
But he was really a good guy, man. Down to earth, very down to earth.
Wow. So when you guys, how did you find the gym? All of you. So Doug, for you, where were you at before you were at the gym in Tan or the gym in CrossFit now?
I first started my career it was called Scorpions in Conshohocken.
Okay.
That turned
Just
in,
pull it just a little closer. Yeah, you're good.
That turned into man, what did that turn into? What did Mark's gym turn into after Scorpions?
I don't remember.
I can't remember. So then I left there, went to a place in Norristown, that closed up, and then because that closed up, I went up to what was it called? Before it was the gym.
Club Physique.
Club
Yeah,
Physique.
yeah.
So before the gym was the gym, it was Club Physique. A different owner owned it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was. The guy had another one actually in Phoenixville.
Yep.
Actually, I had
yeah.
one in McCungy also.
Also? No,
Yes.
that's the one.
Really?
Yeah. So Jimmy was a trainer there, and then Jimmy was supposed to become partners, and something didn't happen, and that didn't happen, and then eventually Jimmy took it over, and now it is what
The
you
gym.
see today. Yes.
Wow.
He did a hell of a job.
He
too.
did a great job.
Great job.
Amazing job.
Both him and his wife.
Yes.
I still can't believe it. I remember when I was a little kid. Actually, before I go into that, how did you guys find the gym?
I literally bought a house across the street.
Wait, really?
Honest
No,
to
he lives
God.
on Juniper Street
I-
in Norristown, yeah.
On 323 Roberts, West Roberts.
No, Juniper Street where Louis was.
That's where he
That
lived,
Louis-
yeah, which
that's
was
right.
literally right around the corner.
Yeah.
Louis, Roberto, his parents lived literally a block away from me, right around the corner. But yeah, we bought a house, second house, it was a twin, second house in from the main street, Markley Street, and the gym, I never had to drive. I literally walked across the street.
Oh,
And,
wow.
the video store was right in back of the house, and
Oh,
all
man.
kinds of good things.
But
There's
the beverage store was right on top. remember?
The beverage store was there. You had the Mad Grocer across the street, so I really didn't have to drive much.
Oh yeah, right by the. Are you talking the beverage store by El Limon and Okay.
If you go down the alley there,
Yeah.
and the softball field's on the left-hand side, Roberto's was in the basement there. Yeah, just look for the big fan.
I don't think it's there anymore. I think they ended up taking that thing down. And I found that because I was working out in my basement. I needed a place to train. That's how I found
Yeah.
Roberto's. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
I used to train in a place called when I moved from Springfield, Delaware County. I moved up here, and I trained at a place called Olympus Gym. George Schneider used to own. Was the owner. that one, a guy named Joe Forte owned in Springfield, and George Snyder actually owned the one in Warrington. It was a bunch of 6 or 7 franchise gyms that they were called Olympus Gym.
Sure.
And man, I tell you what, the big time bodybuilders were in really big time bodybuilders. And from there, when I moved from Springfield, I needed a place to train.
Yeah.
So that's how I found Roberto's. Wow. And everything else is just history, my friend.
That's crazy because you guys tell me all these wild stories of you guys competing and doing all this other stuff, and then it's every time. Like I remember when I first was there, I think I met you. It had to be like a Wednesday or something like that. And same thing with you. It was like random days because I used to go at night, and then once I come in the morning, that's when I started getting to know you. And then I ended up meeting you, Sonny, and then I started getting to know you a lot more. And then everyone else that I started meeting in this circle, it just seemed like you guys were like the center of everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like everyone at some point has some other branch or some like experience with you guys, and it's always positive. Like, I've never heard anyone say a bad thing about any of you guys.
You haven't talked to my wife then lately, have you?
I saw the other day.
Sorry.
Well, actually, yeah, I think that could possibly be a true statement because, you know, we're older, we're all injured, surgeries.
Yeah.
You know, we're I don't want to say we're past our prime, but we're past our prime.
I don't know. Sonny just benched like 320 today.
Sonny's all right. He's got a new die, but we'll talk about that later.
He's not regressing anymore.
But
Another T-shirt.
Fickle finger face.
but a lot of people, you know, jumped in with us, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you know us. You know?
Yeah.
If this is what you want to do, jump on in.
Get it done.
Follow the leader and let's get it done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's good. You know, hey, there's a meet coming up. Let's do a meet. You know, join the family, so to speak.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there was a lot of people. I mean, we supported each other. If you were doing a different federation than we were, we would go to it.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
vice versa. You know, it was good times. And yeah, I think a lot of people were with us for a minute.
Yeah.
And kind of branched off and did their own thing.
It's just crazy because you guys went to an RPS meet just recently, and I just think like how like supportive you guys are, or it was RPS, right? You went to go see
Bristol.
Yeah.
Was for Keith.
Big
But it's-
Keith.
yes, for his
Big
bench.
Keith, yeah, Bristol's
Back in
biggest
March,
bench.
yeah.
Yes. And it's just crazy because like all you guys are so in tune with everyone. I remember one of the biggest like things about you that still like is ingrained in my brain was with like college and everything. I told you my major, and you were like, "Oh, dude, like how's school? Like how's like the thing with like it was like history or something that I was taking at the time." And I'm like, "Oh, this guy actually like gives a fuck." Like he's like, and all you guys, and I was like, "Yo, this is like a real." And you guys are one of the biggest reasons that like I stuck with it and always came to the gym. I was like, "All right, I'm gonna go see Sonny. I'm gonna go see Sam. I'm gonna go see Doug." You know, and just like, I don't think a lot of people get to see that in a lot of gyms, because most people go like to like LA Fitness or like the Y. That's where I originally was.
It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Just not the same thing.
It's not the same thing by no means, but at the same time, I think a lot of people would see us, especially, you know, 10 years ago. I think they would be intimidated and stay away from us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I was much larger. You know, probably all of us were a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And people would be intimidated for no reason other than just what you see.
Yeah.
But then someone like you, you're drawn to it.
Yeah.
You want to become part of it.
Yeah.
And here we are today.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And now you know us for the people that we are and not from the cover of the book.
And that I love that you said that, because I was thinking the same thing. It's like never judge a book by its cover. And it's like, because, okay, prime example, if you're some kid just coming to the gym for the first time because they live in like this area and they hear Sonny coming in, "Good morning, gentlemen. I'm so inclined to call you that," and then shake every single hand in the place. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people be intimidated by that, but it's cool because they get to know you and like, oh, this guy does care. And you might yell regressing 20 times and then have a PR on a Sunday morning.
That's a true story.
Well, the
That's
funny
true.
part is, my niece, when Jimmy had it where the old gym was.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
My niece Gina had started going to the gym, and one of the comments that she made was, because the free weight room was in the back, that she didn't want to go in the free weight room. I said, well, why? It's scary back there.
Yep.
I said, what do you have, like monsters or something? She said, yeah. I said, okay. So I took her in, and I introduced her first to Sonny. That's Uncle Sonny,
Yep.
Uncle Big Doug. And then from then on, first thing she did is I said, you go find them. She found everybody. She greeted them just like we do with one another.
Sure.
So they learn that humanity piece as opposed to the cell phone piece.
Sure.
It's the respect that you give one another. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and it goes a long ways. Not just here; it goes everywhere. It's respect. It really
It's
does.
crazy though. Like, I don't know, because I've been in the gym for 5-6 years now, and I'm so used to like meeting a bunch of people that you never would have thought you ever talked to, and then like I had a culture shock a couple years ago. It was like 2 years ago. Cody had to like lose some weight for beer muscles, and we went to like LA Fitness because they had like the sauna there, right? And I walked in. Now, mind you, right, the guys that we're lifting around are like putting up crazy weights on everything, right? And I walked into an LA Fitness. They use the sauna. I was the most uncomfortable I have ever been walking into a gym. Like, it was just like energy I wasn't used to. Maybe I sound like a student, but that's just like I walked
it
in
makes
there.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
It's the
people-
atmosphere. Totally different atmosphere.
Yeah, and
There's places you fit in, and there's places you
Yeah.
don't fit in, and you're picking up on it.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
I think a good way to explain it in total, in general, would be to say we've known each other for so long, and all of us. We just had a
Yeah.
reunion from Roberto's.
Yeah.
And Lenny Graham still works out and trains people there at our gym. He's from Roberto's.
Oh wow.
And we give of ourselves rather than giving to ourselves.
Yeah.
Too many young kids today give to themselves, and they
Yeah.
don't know what it's like to give of themselves. I mean, my first meet back in 2012 was in Jersey, and Sonny was the first one I asked. And oh my God, you talk about I hadn't competed in like 12 years because I was raising my girls and I was coaching girls softball. RPS, Gene was from Roberto's.
Okay.
Gene Reichlak.
Oh,
And,
wow.
God rest his. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We know
What?
Gene. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gene was from
Yeah,
Roberto's.
he was from there.
What?
So
Wow, I'm-
RPS would not be what it is today if it wasn't for Sonny. And as crazy as it is, I got in, I weighed in, I give him my card, and Sonny was there to help me. And Sonny walks in and he looks at Sonny and goes, "Oh my God, it's the Mad Mason." Let me tell you something. If I worked for you, Sonny, for 3 days.
3 days he worked. That's all.
3 days. That's all I could take. And I realized that I couldn't work for you, so I left and I started RPS. And I was dying.
What?
Where he worked out as a laborer for 3 days, dude. Broke his balls, bad. Bad. I mean, as big as he was just as soft, man. First guy to ever bench 1,000 pounds, and still couldn't last 3 days working with me. So how big you are don't mean shit.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But he was really a good guy. He had a good heart. He gave back. He was a good guy. It's a shame that he died so young. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So you were the reason.
That-
That's crazy. like they're one of the biggest federations.
And pretty much so.
Yeah.
They're up there. Yeah, they are.
They
That's-
are.
They are.
I'm going to throw this out there.
Yeah.
My opinion, by far the best federation.
I hear that a lot. Yeah.
Or you go to different meets, pay attention to how things are ran, pay attention to the atmosphere,
Yeah.
and then go to RPS. It's different.
I heard it.
So much different in a way better way. Remember how you said you walked in LA Fitness, you just
Yeah.
didn't feel comfortable?
Yeah.
I feel at home at RPS. Always did, always will. And other federations, it's just not for me. I've never competed in other federations, but I've been there to support. Nah, that's not for me. RPS 100%, only
Really?
RPS.
Well, if you think about it, it goes back to what I said. Gene was from Roberto's, and Gene gave him himself before he gave to himself. And the same with his federation. It was all about the lifters. And that's how the meets were run. They were run for the lifters. And he openly said that the meets are run for the lifters.
That's awesome.
And he gave to the lifters. He was strict. The judging was strict.
Sure.
It wasn't haphazard by any means.
Yeah, no
That's good,
herky-jerky
though. That's-
shit.
There was no
You know what I
gimmies
mean?
there. No gimmies.
No.
But
I know.
You
Just ask
gotta-
Roman.
you-
You got
you
to
gotta-
give me that one spot.
You earned it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And Amy, his wife, the judges, they all did a great job. Always do a great job. Now I've seen. I don't want to say no other. I don't want to talk down on nobody, but other very large federations. You got a panel of people, and they are nowhere near as smooth or as fast as RPS.
I know.
Nowhere.
USAPL was getting a lot of flack because I remember a while ago. I don't know if you. I'm pretty sure you might have seen this because you're more on the socials. But there was this girl who was benching, and I'm pretty sure it was USAPL. I could be wrong. Someone will probably correct me. But powerlifting in general, but I know the USAPL got it a lot because her arch was so high that she would come down, and dude, I'm not even an inch.
2-inch press?
Not even 2 inches.
Yeah.
It was crazy because people, like, all the entire comment section was like range of motion. Like it had to be less than an inch. But because it touched and because her butt was on the
Because she did what she was supposed to do
Yeah.
according to the rules,
Yeah.
it was good.
the rules changed, and I think just recently it was on I think it was CBS Sports Network, the IPF World Championships bench press from Austin, Texas, and they had made mention of that new rule that it's something about your elbows and where they are in relation to your lats and this, that, and the other thing, and you got a red light, and then it goes to the panel, like Doug was saying. Oh, well, there's a panel of judges over here, and they have to review the lift, and I'm going, really?
It's
I
just too much.
get it's a world meet, I get it, but
Yeah.
it just, I don't know. Sometimes it takes the fun away, but that's when they had to change the rule because of that crazy arch thing.
Yeah.
Well,
there was a lot of that too, and then the same thing with like sumo. I know, because I know in strongman they don't allow it, but in some feds you can go right up to the plates. Like.
Right. So you got a 2-inch pull instead of a 2-inch push.
And I will say this, from like pulling silver dollar or whatever it is, like $1,000 is a lot of weight. Like it is a lot of weight, and I'm not going to try to discredit them not be able to pull that. But it's just when people look at it, they go, "You only moved it like an inch or like 2 inches or whatever it is."
100%. It's a lot of weight, but let's be honest. I kind of look down on it.
Yeah, a lot of
You know
people.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's girl style. That's what I call it. You know what I mean? If you want to do it like a girl, then sumo. No offense. I mean,
No.
hey, listen. You're strong, but you should be strong both ways. You should be
Yeah.
able to pull big numbers both ways. You know what I mean? Not like a girl.
Me personally, I'm going to put it this way. The straps is what gets me. Like, what the hell with the goddamn straps? Are you kidding me? These guys, I mean, come on, be serious. Either you wrap your hand around, your thumb around, or gorilla grip, whatever. Forget the straps. I mean, come on. It helps so much that it's unbelievable. I mean,
Coming from the guy who doesn't use a hammer, he uses his hands to chop up stone and carry stones. It's the
Do
only
you
reason
really?
why he's saying what he's saying.
No, I don't. No, listen to him.
You're gonna rile him up. You see what you're doing? Look at him.
Go rile me the hell up now. Jesus Christ. That always bugged me. Say, these guys could pull this 1,000 pounds, but they have straps on. I mean, come on. If you could pull 1,000 pounds without straps, man, you're one hell of a man. One of the first guys to train actually or pull over 900 was Gary Heisey. Big, tall guy, man. He was built like he was an old farmer. He was from Lancaster. He pulled 925 at the meet. What was that? Yeah, just one of the first guys to break 900. Gary Heisey. That was back in 1993.
Oh,
wow. many decades ago. But one of the first guys ever. No straps. He looked like a big bear coming out there. I swear to God. I mean, he had the shirt. The hair was coming out of the shirt and everything else. He just came out there, just pulled it up like it was nothing. 925.
I'm not going to go there. I know what you're thinking, too. I'm just not going to do it.
Why do you
You're gonna rile him up again.
I'm just not going to do it.
What, like a bear?
Oh my gosh, dude.
Nah, I think we should have touched base on something earlier in the podcast. Me and Sonny have known each other since I was about 14 years old.
Really?
I know his entire family.
Wow.
Very close.
I consider him like my son.
Yeah, we
Don't always admit it.
right.
Don't always admit it.
Yeah.
Usually he only admits it when no one's listening. But,
Now a lot of people are listening.
but all three of us are absolutely 100% family. You know what I mean? And me and Sam, I don't even know what year. I don't know, mid-90s.
Probably. I'm gonna say the early '90s, and because remember we competed, it was one of the first RPS in Pottstown.
Oh, at the
One of the
was it at the hotel or
Yeah,
whatever?
it was at the hotel.
Yeah.
And it was again we all had the bench shirts, the insert
Yeah, because
shirts.
that's what it was back then.
It was
When
all
we
the
first
rage.
started
It was all the
competing,
rage.
everybody had a shirt on. You know, there might have been like one or two people competing without, and they were just like, "Oh, hey, let me try it." Like they weren't real powerlifters. Most of them.
Yeah.
Don't. Every once in a while, you would get somebody strong.
Yeah.
But everybody competed with shirt. Now it's opposite. Everybody's going, you know, no equipment, and you know they're really strong.
That was until they had them. You don't put those on. You never put them on. You had them put on you. They were horrendous. They were just brutal.
It's a workout just getting the old insert shirts on. It's to rip the cuticles on your fingers off. They were
Yeah,
bleeding.
look what
Putting
happened.
them
I
on.
was putting the
Unbelievable.
shirt on the Doug, and it just
True story.
fell out. I mean, just from constant pulling and pulling and pulling. This being the longest finger, it just like wore down. And
Now let me tell you guys
SOL.
this. Now, I've known Gene Reichlak since mid '90s. Okay, I've been friends with him since. I've competed with him. Obviously, I've competed in his federation, and sometimes I would have to help him and his guys
Get
the
on.
shirt
Yeah.
on him or off him. Well, it would be about 5 of us, large individuals, killing ourselves to make this happen. Blood every time, all joking aside, facts. And to say it's a workout is an understatement.
I've watched some of
Especially if you're there to compete. If you're there as a spectator or a hand, it's one thing. But if me and you have to compete today, we're exhausting ourselves before
Really?
we get to the platform. 100%.
and you're only looking 30, 40 pounds max
That you got out of the shirt.
that
yeah.
you got out of the shirt.
Yeah.
It's like the you were saying back.
Well,
in the
back
day.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then,
They
the
were just
original
they were
ones.
single ply.
Yeah.
Insert shirts. Yeah.
Well, when the squat suits were out, when they came out,
Oh, that's a whole nother story.
up
Jeez.
until then they finally improved it. They came out with the Z suits, but
That's what you were showing me earlier,
yeah, the
right?
squat suits, man. You talk about swallowing your pride after you squat because you had a couple of things up in your ears.
Because
Your
I know they
balls-
talked about that too in the West Side docu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, your balls ended up in your ears. I mean, it just rode up, and they came out with the Z suit then, and then it stayed on your quads. It helped.
Okay.
But the original shirts, and that was the first meet I think that we had met and we had trained for, and it was rather bittersweet because I ended up being tied with Pete Grahoski.
Pete.
Yeah, he and I were in the same weight class. We did the same weight, and that little SOB beat me on body weight because he was shorter and lighter and more handsome.
What did he bench?
We were 220s, I think.
Probably 220s.
We
Yeah.
were 220s, and
His
he
name
did-
is
we-
Potato Pete, just by the way.
Potato Pete. Honest to God, we used to have the mutant mafia dinners at a restaurant down by the gym.
Oh,
Yeah,
Geno's,
old
right?
Geno's, yeah.
Geno's.
Yeah.
Geno's.
Oh, that's
Shout out to
great.
Geno's
Oh,
and my man
that's
Pino.
Oh my
absolutely-
God.
Always and forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best.
Unbelievable Italian food, and sure enough, Petey would come in. He'd have to. We'd all just buy whatever, and we'd split the check. Petey had his own check, and he had to have mashed potatoes.
But that-
And
that-
you were
that-
not, and he would not share his potatoes.
No.
Really?
Listen, I'll get 3 appetizers for everybody. Like we're just ordering for the moon. Petey with his potatoes, he don't share.
Oh my!
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
my! Loves his potatoes.
I think that's where he gets his strength from. He's 100% carb guy. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because in the last like 10 years, I've noticed people like because you see it a lot of like women now too. Like they're still scared to eat carbs, but people are
Some
actually,
women
yeah,
embrace it.
because
Yes.
that's where a lot of your energy is coming from too. Not just necessarily
Well,
protein, but
I could tell you this: when I was big, every time I was big, I would eat, I don't know, 10, 12 times a day. Now, not actual real meals, but basically when I was big, I constantly had to shove food in my face, no matter what it was or what it wasn't. The more I ate, the bigger I got, the stronger I became. 100%, no questions asked. But I wasn't worried about what I looked like or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Not that I looked bad or anything, but
yeah.
food works for me. Period.
Well, that's what I tell a lot of kids too. Like, there's this one kid that works for us, car kid. He was like, "How do I like get bigger?" I'm like, "You got to eat. You have to eat." He goes, "Well, I eat." And I'm like,
Then you
"Eat more."
It's just that simple.
And I'm like, "If you want, like, take all this stuff and put in like a calculator. You can do it online. Like, they have little programs and stuff. And now you know what you're eating, so you got to eat more than that. So say it's 2,000. Now you got to be eating like 23. If that doesn't work, you need to eat more." And I'm like, a lot of it boils down to like thermodynamics, where it's like you're burning off 2,000 calories or like 1,000 calories a day, but you're only eating you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
so
You need the extra.
you need the extras. Yeah,
It's
crazy.
not easy. It's hard for me to. I've been like this my whole life. I've always had a hard time eating consistently. I'm very inconsistent. I've been very inconsistent my entire life. So, like the biggest I ever was like 310 or 312, but that's with me literally eating all
the time.
day long, from the time I woke up to the time I fell asleep. Now, for me not to eat like that, when I was healthy, I'd be about 290, 285.
Damn.
Eating kind of normal. So if I could continue that task of eating all day long,
Yeah.
I could have, definitely got up a little heavier, but I couldn't do it. I could only eat like that for like a week or two. And then I
Really?
physically stopped eating for like 2 or 3 days. I just can't do it. It's just too
It's
much.
horrible. It's horrible.
It is horrible.
You're just shoving food down.
Yeah,
Have you
you're
guys-
literally
Not even
just shoving
tasting
food
it.
in
Not
your
even
mouth.
tasting, it's horrible.
I was always in the middle of the weight class. When I came back and I was lifting raw, the most I ever weighed was 231. And just gearing up for a meet, I would start, 6 weeks out, 8 weeks out, and the gear up was the food. I'm talking, like Doug was saying, 5-6 meals a day and just eating and eating and eating. And it's just as awful to eat like that it is to, say, not eat and have to diet.
Yeah.
But it's like anything else. If you watch any of the strongest men in the world or any of the power lifters, they say the same thing.
Their
It's all
food
about eating. It's about eating.
is huge.
You got to have the calories. I mean,
And it's effort. I mean,
It's a
to
job.
eat,
It's an actual
absolute.
job.
Yeah.
It's a
job.
it's a hard job
It really
too,
is.
Matt. All kidding aside,
Yeah.
it's a hard job.
So how many calories do you think you were eating in a day?
When I was big,
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no clue because I didn't count.
Oh.
I mean, Matt, when I tell you I would eat anything, I would eat anything.
Damn.
If you
5
said
to
just go
6.
upstairs and find something, I would just go upstairs and find whatever. I didn't care. I just had to shove food in my face.
Yeah.
5,000 to 6,000 calories.
5,000 to 6,000.
Same.
Damn.
But I was the heaviest. I'm 238 now. But I always competed in the 220s. But I always competed at a light 220. I was 209. I've always, even in the 220, always at 209, 2010. That was 210. That's it. 210. I was going.
When I first started competing, I've been competing since like, I don't know, early 90s, mid 90s. I was in the 220s.
Yeah.
So from the 220s to the 308s.
Wow.
That's a lot of food.
It's a lot
Yeah.
of food, dude.
Yeah.
It's a lot of food.
Because I went from the 98s to the 220s, and I tried to stay in the 220s, and my lovely wife pulled me aside and said, "You got a choice. You either move up in weight class or you stop lifting, because I'm not going to put up with you if you have to diet again." I said, "Okay, I'll move to the 242s."
He was hangry.
I was very
Really?
hungry. Oh, I was
Mood swings.
Oh
Bad.
my God! You talk about hormone Harry. Oh my God, it was awful.
Can I also say his kids were not allowed at the meets when we were younger?
Really?
When we were younger, then Gene, we started lifting RPS, and my kids started coming. And Jimmy Smith, who owns the gym now, was like, 19 at the time?
Something like that.
And Oh my God! I have three daughters, and my 3 daughters would be at the meet, and I remember there was a curtain there, and then the platform here, and then behind the curtain is where you'd warm up. They would sit right at the entrance, and they wouldn't cheer me. They were cheering Jimmy. Okay, they were 5 and 3 at the time, and
Like Jimmy Smith, like
Jimmy
Jimmy.
Smith. Oh,
That's
Yeah, the owner of the gym.
wild.
Yeah.
yeah, we know
This
Jimmy.
is crazy.
Yeah, they would cheer Jimmy, and they wouldn't give me the time of day because the one time I was smelling the ammonia salts and I threw it down,
Oh.
and I accidentally hit, I think, either Kristen or Danielle or Teresa, I can't remember, and they stopped cheering for me. So they just hooked on to Jimmy.
When years ago he would get really worked up, put himself in a certain state of mind, and he didn't want his kids to see him like that.
That's probably fair.
No, it is.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Very
But
aggressive,
now he's
very
very calm in his elder age. Look
Yeah,
at him.
exactly. I mean,
Look how calm he is just sitting here.
That's because I don't write checks out anymore. They're married, and I'm a grandfather, and I do cardio by chasing my grandsons now.
It is crazy because I almost can't imagine like you guys like I don't know like being at like just grabbing a bar, just like you smacking your head on it or some like crazy stuff like that. Cause I know you guys are so calm and like, you know what I'm saying?
The smacks on the back,
Oh yeah.
the smacks to the head.
Well,
You know what
God
I mean?
rest his soul, Jeff Rizzuta.
Jeff.
Jeff,
He'd
I mean,
smash his head.
He'd sit there with a 2x4 and just smack his head with the 2x4. And the funniest thing was when the gym used to be at Pino's place,
Okay.
where Pino's used to be,
Yeah.
they had the big, I guess, floor-to-ceiling windows with the aluminum separators.
Really?
And he was getting ready for a meet. This old couple pulls up because they went to the restaurant next door. He gets out of the car. He gets his he gets his wife out of the car, and they're walking up towards the window. And there's Jeff Rizzuta banging his head off of the aluminum supports. And they stop, and they're watching him. He goes over. He squats like 650. They literally turn around. He puts her back in the car. He gets back in, and they leave.
Scared the hell out of him.
It scared the living hell out of them.
What?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Jeff. God rest his soul.
Jeff
yeah,
was good for
absolutely.
smashing
He
his
was,
head.
oh my God!
What?
He would sit with
100%.
a 2x4. He would sit
Yeah.
with a 2x4. Oh yeah.
What do
To
you-
the extreme, man.
What do
To the
you
extreme.
What do you do if you're like about to you're competing against this guy and you're in the same class, and he's just everyone's warming up and he's just bam 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 like that's what he would do. He would just
Yeah.
smack his head with it. Wow.
Right before he would
Yeah.
get on, with the heavy lifts,
Wow.
yeah.
No joke.
Very. What was he? 19. Was second teenage nationals out in Arizona.
Wow.
Yeah, he was incredibly talented, and he passed not 2 years ago.
Last year.
It was last year. Yeah.
So, with you guys growing up with like all this, and being in this lifting atmosphere, different gyms. My question is how is it now with seeing things on like Facebook but especially like in the gym of like tripods and cameras?
Well, I float around still to different places
Yeah.
to see different things or whatever. We didn't have any of that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm 50 years old. These guys are a little bit older than me. And
I'm waiting for it.
no, just a tad. But all joking aside, I'm 50 years old.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about this with my cousin. I have very little pictures or videos of us doing good things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just that wasn't our thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? We didn't do it for that. Where now it's like you have video and pictures of everything, your entire life from start to finish.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? You're not achieving anything great. So what are you doing? But whatever. Each is,
No, I hear what you're saying.
I'll say it like this, and I think Doug makes some great points. But I think the base of it is, if at the time, I have videos of me, of a meet I did outside. It's on a VHS tape. Remember the VHS
The
tapes?
big ones, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
the big one. You have a big camera to film.
like the size of Sonny's head.
Exactly. But, I mean, And the only
I am, yo.
see at the time, obviously there were cell phones, but they didn't have the camera stuff, and there was no face Twitter and all this other social media stuff. But we did have tripods. We had Doug, and we had guys like Doug and Sonny and Danny Valerio eyeballing you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, when we all competed when, earlier in the 90s, early 90s, these guys maybe a little sooner. Just saying. But when
You're going to rile them up.
the bear's coming out of the den again. But
Breaking balls.
But when we started to compete again, I was paying attention to what other people were doing.
Yeah.
And we would always watch each other. I'm watching you like a judge would watch you.
Yeah.
So we have 5 sets of eyes. I can explain to you, Matt, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, you're doing
How
this
you guys
right.
doing, like,
So
Sundays,
now,
right? Yeah.
then we were like, well, if we record each other, now I can show you what you're doing wrong
Yeah.
or what you're doing right, Matt.
Like film. Like,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. So that's why we would do it. You know what I mean? So we started filming ourselves so we can correct the mistakes that we were making, if we were making any, or improve on something. Because again, not to my own horn or their horn, but we strive to do everything correct. So this way, even when we're not gearing up for a meet, we always train 98% of the time as if we were in a competition. This is why we don't fuck up in a competition.
Oh.
Right? I mean, would you guys...
I agree 100%. It's like these guys bouncing 400 pounds off. What's the reason for the bounce off your chest? Besides you trying to break every bone in your chest cavity. I mean, I just don't understand that. That's not a lift. I mean, bouncing it off is not a lift.
Yeah.
I mean, a slight pause and push, go, done.
Just like this morning when you guys were like, you paused.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing pauses.
It's just these guys, the way they train is the way they compete, and it's wrong. And then you wonder why they're getting all these red
Right.
lights.
You know what I mean? A lot of people compete. Like I've seen a lot of people compete and fail.
Yeah.
Because they can't follow the commands, and they have no pause. The pause kills them. And I'm like, you're gearing up for a meet. A pause is part of the competition.
Yeah.
Why are you failing at this? This is what you should have been working on the entire time. So they don't have the right people in their corner to instill that in them, and this is why they fail.
Yeah.
And we are the complete opposite. We are killing... we're going by commands. We're pausing. We're doing everything all the time, so we don't mess up.
One of the things that Doug is 100% right on, we had each other's eyes, because instead of us having cameras and having videos and having all that, it's from each movement. Those set of eyes corrected us every single time. Look, this hand came up a little quicker than the other. You did not center. Did not come down the same place. These eyes always correct us, so the next movement was done the right way.
We have
At
so
meets.
many eyes on you. Listen, there's only 3 judges at a meet. We might have 8 eyes on you, 8 sets of eyes on you. So when you're doing it, Matt, you are going to be peaked.
Yeah.
Perfection.
Yeah.
Because this is what you're striving for. Yeah. You know what I mean? You want to do well. So let's gear up and make sure you do well. And we always did. Always did.
See, the thing is, at the core of that is, unlike today, is basically thick skin. Those 8 sets of eyes who were sitting there, or like the other day when we were deadlifting, and I started getting wonky with, 4 or 5 or whatever it was, I was able to correct that in the middle of the set because of all the years of people like Doug and Sonny who were just, you better have thick skin.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like, well, you're special too, Matthew, and that was just wonderful, and even though you did one thing right. As Doug said...
I get that up from you all the time, every Sunday. Yeah.
As Doug said, you strive for perfection, and if you don't, you could sit there and have 8 perfect sets, and if you do 1 rep wrong, guess what you're going to remember that whole week? This is how we were.
Yeah.
You just focus. You just
Old school.
Hyper-focus
Just
And that's what I was just going to say, Matt. Now, you know us pretty well.
Yeah.
I know these gentlemen very well.
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm being nice.
If you're so inclined to call you that.
So we come from an older school.
Yeah.
You don't have to be nice to me.
Yeah.
Especially when we're doing something like this.
Yeah.
If I fuck up, I want you to tell me I fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they will, and I will tell you.
Yeah.
So the thick skin comes in. It's natural for us. We're not going to take offense to this. Where somebody who's younger than me comes in, they might take it the wrong way and be offended, and then maybe they don't want to train with us. Where that's not how it should be. You should want, like you. You like I said earlier, you were you gravitated towards us for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Our personalities, what we do, what we've accomplished.
Yeah.
You want that.
100%.
And this is why we're here now.
Yeah.
So for someone like you, that really says a lot because you're very young. You and Cody.
Yeah.
Really nice kids. You know, I can't say enough about you. And I love to see younger people like yourself wanting to I don't want to say follow in our footsteps like we're something great, but
pave your own way.
Pave your own way and be a man and become yourself. But you see, you can learn from us and you want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I tell kids all the time.
It's awesome that you're doing it. So hats off to you.
But the other outcome of that hyper focused of the sets of eyes, of the thick skin, is that you develop the mental piece. Because when you get to meets, as you were saying, you know, or like you were trying to allude to with Jeff Rizzuto, what do you do if you walk into a meet and the guy's banging his head with a 2x4? Well, so what? What do you do if you're in a weight class and you want to open at 4:05 and somebody's open at 6? So what? You better have the focus to do what you need to do. Because if you start paying attention to other things or to your faults or to something that didn't go right,
it's going to distract you and you're going to mess up.
And you're out there on a platform with at least 3 sets of eyes looking at you, and they're judging your lift. And this is what we do in the gym. It was no big deal. Yeah. We got to a meet, we had judges. Okay, great. Well, I didn't have a judge handsome as Doug, or as quiet as Sonny, you know?
Right. Church mouse.
Honest to God. But by the time you got there, it was second nature. You focused on what you had to do. And then you enjoyed the surroundings. But when it came time, you were able to turn it on and turn it off.
We had business time, and then we were there for each other. But when it's time to step on a platform, you turn it on, you get it done.
I gotta
100%.
say, I did
you
see
only do that in the gym.
Yeah.
You can't just turn it on at a meet and go, well, no. You've got to practice that in the gym first off.
Yeah.
Right when you take, the bar or whatever you're doing to warm up, you've got to develop that mental, narrow, hyper-focused attitude where nothing matters except for what you're doing. That's it. You've got to block everything out, even just keep one word in your head. But you develop that hyper-focus to where you either hear the judge, you don't even hear the music. That's why it cracks me up. People will say, hey, can you put on some AC/DC or some, who's that chickie now that everybody likes, married to the football, going out with the football player? What's her name?
I don't know. I'm not up on
Oh, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, yeah.
Who likes her?
Who
likes her?
I don't know.
I just knew the only other person that you would know that is a singer that is married to a football player had to be the most famous woman.
He only said that because of his kids. That's the only reason why he knows who Taylor is.
It's all right. You guys can bust Christine's balls when she goes back. Taylor Swift.
She's young. She's allowed.
Okay.
It's okay. You guys get a pass.
You can't just sit there and go, well, let's put a song on and get me psyched up. Well, what are you doing if you go to a meet and they turn the music off?
You said that to me before.
Yeah. Or if they put a song on you don't like. What if they put a Taylor Quick on there? Taylor Quick, whatever it is.
What if it's hot in there, Matt? What if it's cold in there?
Yeah.
What if it's rainy? What if it's sunny? You know what I mean?
You got to block it out.
You just got to go there and handle your business, as always. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen, physically strong and mentally strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the only thing I hear
You say that to me all the time.
The only thing I hear is the judge.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that matters. You know what I mean? Everything else doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
You listen to the judge, you do what his commands, and that's that.
At the Apex, if you look at, you watch the World's Strongest Men,
Yeah.
World's Strongest Man, or even Strongman Champions League.
I knew you were going to say that. You always talk about that, yeah.
You watch them and their focus in the middle of whatever lift or whatever they're doing. And you can always tell when it starts breaking down. when they start losing their focus. Something happens, and it's natural, but they have that focus just from constantly doing competitions and working and practicing it in the gym. There's no music there. There's nothing there to get you psyched except for your own self, really.
Damn. That does make a lot of sense, because a lot of competitions that I've been to and have done, you don't always get to choose the music. But I did notice how you guys train and how everything that you're saying makes sense, and I got to see it in like a real world example. Was through Keith. Was everything you guys are saying, I watched happen for how many 4 months, 5 months when he started coming with us on Sundays, and everything you said of the eyes watching it, like doing I when he was gearing up for Bristol, you guys didn't let him bench without commands for like 3 weeks straight, maybe even 4 weeks. That's exactly what you said. Yeah. Is you have to train for it.
It has to be that way.
And what
There's no other way.
He killed it, right? He
did really well.
Yeah, especially this Sunday too. He did like 375.
Well, he comes up and he goes. He wanted to do one rep max, and I have my iPod that I plug into the
yes you do
the thing
stereo
the stereo with one speaker. And he's sitting there. I said, well, okay, Keith, what music do you have? An artist? He goes, how about some AC/DC? I said, got it. Just like my grandson loves Thunderstruck, so I'm trying to put that on, and it's not working. There's no music playing. And what does he do? He goes out, and he hits 375.
Yeah.
And it was the only thing you heard was the echo with Sonny and everybody else yelling at Keith, and there's no music.
Yeah.
But he wanted AC/DC, and we all have our preferences. But he absolutely, it was the lift of the year. It was unbelievable.
It was awesome.
And another thing, some people don't compete that often. Some people have competed a lot over time. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Sonny has competed the most out of all of us sitting here. Because I remember going to his gym when I was a wee little lad, and he had a big wall filled with his achievements, and it was a lot, like big achievements.
How many competitions did you do?
Probably there about 15 or 18.
Nah, get the hell out of here.
That's all it was. There weren't that many.
Sonny.
But I did the Worlds. I did the WMPF Worlds. I ended up winning the Worlds in 1994. Yeah.
Was that little deadlift that you did?
Yeah.
That little itty bitty one?
Yeah, the little
okay.
bitty, yeah.
It's the
my total. I pulled a 665.
Yeah.
But that was only at a 209 body weight. So when I to this day, that is my proudest achievement, because guess what? Almost 3.5 times body weight.
And maybe I should point this out for the audience. Sonny is only 4 feet tall.
He can't. He just naturally just does it.
Well, he won the Lamar Gant Award. Okay, Matthew, you were already in the last row, last seat.
I know.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
He's trying.
He's trying. Strong man. You can be the strong man. You have a great deadlift, and you don't know.
I'm sorry.
And the listeners, the people who are listening,
I'm gonna get roasted online. I already know this is
the
gonna go.
people who don't know if they compete and they deadlift, and if they don't know who Lamar Gant is, shame on them. That's all I'm going to say. Lamar Gant, was it 6 times?
Oh my god.
Or 5 times?
5.5.
5 5.5 times his body weight in a deadlift.
He weighed 132.
And he had scoliosis.
What?
667.
In the what?
Yeah.
To this day, if I'm not mistaken, I think to this day only one guy has beaten him.
That's it.
And I think the guy is from Russia, if I'm not mistaken. He's also in the 132s or 123s, and he is actually he's physically handicapped to one extent. I think he's got also scoliosis, but one part of his arm is longer than the other.
Oh.
But he ended up, I think, beating him by maybe like 3 or 4 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, nobody has.
That's crazy
This
stuff.
is since the 80s, man.
The 80s. So get on the YouTube thing and Google up or do the search for Lamar Gant, and watch him deadlift.
I'm gonna have to too when I go to edit this.
And if you think of it, we were just chit chatting about the super sumos,
Yeah.
who were all the way out to the plates. He's completely the opposite.
Almost
conventional.
almost legs together.
Yeah.
There was a guy. Who was the guy in the heavyweight class? Dan. I can't think of his name. God. He had always had a bite stick in his mouth, and he deadlifted legs together.
Yeah.
God. He looked like a bear too, by the way.
Something about those bears.
Yeah. But he was another guy that deadlifted with legs close. I mean, it's very difficult to do. A lot of
conventional.
hamstring, glutes, and lower back. Man, that's all it is.
Damn.
Well,
it is.
Remember back at Roberto's, Diego Rock?
Yeah.
He'd squat that way.
Yep.
Basically, you put your heels together, and you just duck your feet out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I spotted him. He was a guy who was a bodybuilder, won Mr. World. Just an amazing. We just saw him the other day. He looks the same. He looks incredible.
He does.
I spotted him. He squatted 585 for a triple, but
Like
it was,
this.
It was ass.
That's
it was
His ass almost that far off the ground.
his ass would slap his calves. It was an ass slapper, and I can't even do it without the weight. So
Jeez.
Lamar Gant, and again, they better be doing the YouTube search thing and watch his video, because he truly was remarkable.
Wow.
Remarkable.
Wow. That's crazy.
Now, there's a lot of people now that do it, but they all do sumo.
Yeah.
I mean, or with straps. I mean, come on.
The straps, I will agree with you, because the difference, so like, if I pull with straps, it's probably about a good 150 to 200 pound difference. Because when we did it at the gym, Ziggy wanted to do a strapless deadlift, working on our grip, right? Because PA Strongest is like it's all grip stuff. So it was overarm, or like this. I forget what it's called.
Hand over hand.
Hand over hand. Yes.
Roller grips.
And you're not mixed. And I think I pulled like 475, just straight like this. But then if I add straps, like the one day we were pulling in like 900 grands when we were doing like the silver dollar deadlift. Like the straps do help a lot.
Oh, hell yeah.
But the one thing that like is weird is I saw people, it was probably like 2 years ago, might have been at Winter Wreckage or the Atlas Classic. I guess it was one of their first meets or their second meet. They tried to pull sumo.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you can't. And they were pulling it pretty far out. And the judge was like, listen, if you pull another rep sumo, like I'm just gonna let you do it. I'm not gonna count your reps.
No, it goes back to what you just said.
Yeah, because like
a lot of people, I don't want to say look down on it, but a lot of people look down on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
That's true. I think, especially with like the whole internet thing now, where everyone posts like their stuff. Like I posted a video of something cool from the gym for the first time in like months.
Who said it was cool? Right? You see my point? You know
Fair.
what I mean?
No, I see your point. And I think that's the thing too, is like
It was tepid at best.
I'm just saying.
But my point being is like people will like look at that, and someone think it's cool, but someone think it's not. But I think majority of the internet, especially like like Instagram, like wherever you are, they kind of look down on sumo, and a lot of people that I know like look down on sumo, depending on how you pull it. The super sumos, I think most people hate. There is that in between where it's good to
Ed Cohen, which is what I try to do.
Yeah.
I tried not the super sumo, but pretty wide. And I'm like, I can't walk after 2 days.
Yeah.
So I went back to just almost like an Ed Cohen.
Yeah.
Where he was kind of in between.
Yeah, because they weren't that far apart.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, it's maybe
he was right where the gnarls are.
Past shoulder width.
Yeah, just right around where the gnarls were on the bar. That's about where he was, way inside there. He was a good inch inside of those gnarls.
Oh,
or
yeah.
the cutouts.
Yeah.
So that is what it is. I mean.
But that's also how you build muscle, though. Like these people that are pulling X amount of weight all the way at the end, like you're not doing anything for your body. You're strong, but you're And Roman said this before, and I know for a fact he's gonna pick me apart later. However, he always says you should use your advantages when competing and use the different. I forget the words he said. I'm paraphrasing, but if you are able to do a certain thing within the guidelines, you should.
To a point, I agree.
To a point, yeah.
But listen, how do you just naturally go super sumo and be like, hey, look, I'm great at this, like compared to like not?
Yeah.
I don't get that.
I don't get it either.
Because I can't even get in that position, let alone do anything.
There's a video of me messing around on like a Sunday from like 4 years ago, and we were joking about the super sumos because at the time people were just ripping on it, like it was every other video you saw. And I remember I tried to get in position and I couldn't, and I fell over the bar because my adductors just did not like what I was doing, and I was almost at a split. And I don't really have long legs, so like it was pretty dramatic. So I fell over. Like I don't know how they get into that
I
position.
would love to see that video.
That would have been.
Yeah, that would be good.
It's
See,
probably-
now that
you know what?
that's I would call that a good video. I would definitely call that a good
I should start
video.
recording our Sundays and watching you dance.
Oh my God.
He gets a.
It's the dancing bear from the circus. It's the escaped dancing bear.
Exactly.
As long as he doesn't have the tutu, it's okay.
So I do have one question. What is this photo that they always talk about?
Don't start.
Matthew, you're already in the last row, last seat. You're
Can't
going
get
to
any further.
You're
You'll
going
be
to
out
the
of the
principal's
room.
office.
You'll be out of the room.
Okay, I don't want to see it. I don't want to know about it. But all I do want to know is why is it so bad that every time it gets brought up, I fear for my life.
Because I have a mullet.
He has a mullet. I've seen it. I've seen it. That's the God.
That goddamn mullet. Son of a bitch. It's going to follow me forever.
It's the God.
I told
man.
Zach if I ever see it on the internet, I'm coming to your house.
Oh, like he's gonna know where it's stuck.
Dude, so funny story about Zach with like photos.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that do like strongman have known each other for like years, like Ziggy, Amy. So the one day we were all at like sushi because where else would I be? And they sent me a photo of Zach in elementary school. I'll send it to you.
Oh my God.
I love
And
that one.
I have it on my phone. And I texted it to him, and I went, "Oh, you were so cute." He goes, "Who the fuck sent you that? How the fuck did you get that?" And he's like, and then I sent him another one because I think Ziggy had a photo from years ago, but I also don't think Zach knows like you can go through Facebook.
Yeah.
So I was like, the one I was like, "Oh, look, he friended me on Facebook." You go through a little scroll, and I'm like, "Oh." Screenshot. And it's like 1 a.m. I'm like sending it to him. He's like, "What is going on?" I'm like, "Nothing. Don't worry about it."
Well, you know, on your phone when you get those, they send you those photos on, like if you take pictures on a certain day.
Oh yeah.
Anniversary photos or something
It's like
like
2
that.
years from today.
So in 2017, that was our last meet.
Mm-hmm.
The ones where we show up and unfortunately Gene was sick and he wasn't there, and they had the scariest trio of people working the front desk. Oh my God, it was frightening. They had 2 redheads and a blonde.
Oh,
They had my wife,
I know plenty of
Petey's
jokes like
wife, and Sonny's wife working the desk. I remember Lori flying out there. Where are you going? Somebody tried to walk in without paying. It was like bees on or vultures on a carcass. But they ended up sending me a picture. I got this thing on my phone. I'm like, what the hell is this? They're sending me these pictures. Oh, yeah, there's Sonny and I. And then if you do the blow-up thing, in the back was Zach in his singlet at like 198 pounds. I mean,
I will pay you good money. I will pay you good money for that photo.
I may still have it.
Oh.
Now,
Go ahead, sir.
I'm going to go out and just say this now, especially Sonny and Sam. Everybody thinks I was like *born this size*, which I was not. Crazy, right?
Okay.
Sonny knows how little I was as a kid.
What, like 120?
I was in high school like this tall, like 150 pounds.
Yeah, he was. He was
Yo,
bad.
what?
Yeah.
You're like
Like a
6'4",
goddamn scarecrow.
right?
Yeah.
6'4".
Yeah.
I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
close.
So, I mean,
At 100?
these guys must. So, we're talking about Zach in all his glory, where I'm sure Zach could not have possibly have been as bad as I was.
Oh my.
When we came over the house, we had to make sure he ate. We were worried that he would.
And let me tell you, all joking aside,
Literally.
his family
Yeah, always.
shoved
Make sure
food
down his throat.
down my throat constantly, and I'm not joking.
What?
Yeah.
6'4" and 150 pounds. You probably looked like one of like that.
I look like the
He's a
yes,
meatball.
Yeah.
He's a
yeah.
meatball.
That's
If I turned
crazy.
sideways, I disappeared.
That's wild. I can't. That's really small.
So 100%. So my whole life, what got me into to lifting, I've been consistently in the gym since I was 17 years old. All I ever wanted to do was be big and strong.
Yeah.
I didn't care what I looked like. I just wanted to be big
and
and
strong.
strong. That was it.
Wow.
And here I am.
That's crazy. But see, this what I said like in the beginning of the podcast is like you three, and I know there's like a couple other people that we don't have directly here, but like how even just in the area in general, how like everything seems to orbit
Gravity.
or gravitate.
Gravitate.
You know what I'm saying? Like
It's like the planets. Everything gravitates. The little what do you call it? The little moons gravitate around the big planets.
Yes,
That's
yes.
Exactly what it
Because
is.
the planets are so big and fat.
Right.
I mean, when you're big and fat, all the small moons have nowhere else to go. They just,
know,
the gravitational
I'm a pretty big
pull.
moon. I'm a pretty
Let me tell
big
you
moon.
something. One of the things that Doug's definitely right about. One of the things I started training because I really enjoyed eating.
Yeah.
I really enjoy food. I really do. And that's why I said I was gonna be like 500 pounds if I didn't
Yeah.
if I didn't actually train.
Train, do something.
But
yeah.
I've cut back, of course. But eating is the biggest part of training, man. I mean, it takes 50 to 60%. You go to the gym and you rest. After that, it's all what you consume.
Well, that's what they say. Like
Oh, it's
the jokes was always you build abs in the kitchen, not in the gym.
That's absolutely right.
And then it's like I'm gonna butcher it, dude. Roman's gonna make
Here, I'll
fun of
give
me.
you one.
Good.
Men have traps, boys have abs.
Oh, I like that.
That's for us heavyweights.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. I needed that. I needed to live that a little bit.
Or if you want to really get that saying right, what you were starting, abs are made in the kitchen?
Yeah, there is a percentage or something like that.
No. That's not correct. Ab is made in the kitchen.
Ab.
Ab is made in
Single
the
ab.
kitchen.
Some people are abs. We are abs.
Ab.
We have abs.
You said that to me years ago, and I used it all the time. It had to be like 3 years ago. I'd be like, what was it? I think it was like Adam Fisher was like rolling around, and I'm like, dude, I want abs like that.
Oh.
And you went, yeah, I have ab. I'm like, what did you say?
I have ab.
And he goes, look, I have ab,
Just one.
just one,
all
just
you
one
need is
ab.
one. That's
all you
Ab,
need.
power belly. You know what I mean? They're cousins.
The power bill is my favorite. I love that.
Now, I started lifting, and I really got into it because I had 3 daughters, so I had to get out of the house.
Yeah.
It was his excuse.
Aggravation control.
I love that.
Honest to
Aggravation control.
Honest to God. Well, I had twins up to start off.
Oh, wow.
And then 21 months later, we had her, my youngest one, Danielle, who, I'm telling you, all 3 of them, when they see these guys, oh my God. And my niece Gina as well.
Yeah.
My nephew Louis was also with us. It's just, again, it goes back to what we were talking about, what Doug was talking about, and Sonny was talking about. It's that respect. And they absolutely adore these guys.
And vice versa.
I'm
Likewise.
just going to say it. They're like my own daughters.
If-
I love them to death.
If you're
Love them to
part
death.
of their family,
Yeah.
you're part of the family.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
like
100%,
mafia
no
stuff.
questions asked. It is. That's what it is.
Hey,
It's
you know
family.
what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, but yeah, and that was easy. It was easy. I just literally could fall down, roll across the street, down the hill, and I'm there. But that, and I literally stopped because I had to raise the kids, and then I started coaching girls softball. And then once I got back to it, they were out, they were gone, they were starting to get married, and got back into it. I had the bug.
That's crazy.
I had the
You
bug.
never lose it.
You don't lose
You
it.
never lose
Yeah.
it.
You don't lose it.
It's that one girl, Gabby. You guys from
Yes,
the
yeah.
So prime example of like someone getting like bit. She came with Larry the one night after a competition at Jimmy's house. We went to eat, and we told her at the gym, hey, listen, at the time it was like $25. Like, just come here instead of going to like Planet Fitness. She competed in her first comp, and she goes, yo, I want to do more. I'm like, you got bit. You're gonna have that
extremely
forever.
strong.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Extremely
Yeah,
strong,
I
man.
know. And that was one of the things I told her. I'm like, listen, dude, like, you are wasting whatever you have at Planet Fitness. Come here with people that are stronger than you, people that
Like-minded people.
like-minded people.
Hey,
Go where you
push
belong.
each other, man.
Yeah.
You'll become better.
And that's
You know what I mean?
Yep,
If I went off somewhere else and trained, I wouldn't be who I am today.
I totally agree.
I have to be with like-minded people to succeed, 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And same thing for you and Code, everybody. Anybody who's in the sport at all, any type of way, you have to be around like-minded
You
people.
have to. Yeah.
And it's people who want to give them themselves.
Yeah.
They give them of themselves. I mean, look, you know, we didn't have to go out to Bristol, but I looked forward to that when Big Keith was at Bristol's biggest bench. One, because I think I was at Bristol's biggest bench when it was the second or third year. Okay, I think. But to go back and again to say hi to Amy and reconnect that way, but just to get back into that, it was just so nice to get back and to see how well he did. So well. I mean, Zach was there. All three. I think he had a huge fan club.
He did.
I freaked out this morning. I was grabbing him. I was excited.
You beat the crap out
I
of him.
didn't mean to. I was excited because
I was like, oh
You
my
got caught up in the drama.
I did. I was excited for it. I even said, I'm like, let me be happy for my friend.
And let me touch base on the people at competitions.
Yeah.
When we were competing years ago in the 90s, that was a certain group of people.
Yeah.
And you know, you get to know these people. They're good people. They're like-minded people. And then we both stepped away for a while, and then we went back.
Yeah.
And now it's a whole other group of people. And I said to Sam, I was like, Sam, I was excited to go back to see people. I'm like, Sam, where's everybody we know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to redo it all over again. You know, we got to become friendly with Jersey Iron.
Okay. Can't say I'm familiar with Jersey Iron.
Jersey Iron was a large lifting group, powerlifting group.
Okay.
Great people.
Oh, okay.
Tone. God rest his soul.
Tone, God rest his soul. Incredible human being, Care Bear, good people. I said I was hungry to one day. They're like, oh, well, what do you want? Well, what do you got? Just strangers just giving me food, a lot of food. They didn't have to do that. I mean, anything that we needed, they were there to support.
Yeah.
And now it's vice versa. Like, you know, I'm friends with Care Bear. I became very good friends with Tone.
Yeah.
You know, just all of them are just good people. It was just a pleasure to it's an extension of your family.
Yeah.
But you only get to see most of these people at meets.
You
know what I mean?
I understand.
Because you're in another state, you know, I know a lot of people travel around, but you know, it's good. It's a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's a very positive atmosphere.
You never lose that camaraderie. Never, ever, ever. When you're at that meet, you'll never lose that camaraderie. It follows you wherever you go because you're just with the same kind of people.
It's not bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is
totally different.
It's a secret. Everything I do is better than you.
it's-
How I
yeah.
drink my water, I'm smarter than you.
Yeah.
Everybody's out for themselves. Powerlifting, I have no competition in powerlifting. I am my only competition.
compete
Always
against
was and
yourself.
will only
Exactly.
ever
Exactly.
be. I've never had competition in powerlifting ever in my life. It's always me competing against me.
Yeah.
Anything that I needed, there was someone there to help me, and vice versa. Powerlifting and bodybuilding, completely different. Powerlifting is way more family oriented
Yeah.
when it comes to that. Bodybuilding is me, and none of us are those people, including
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. There was
Not knocking bodybuilders.
No, and I hear that. We were in Colorado, and not like we were uncomfortable, but I did notice. I'll have to ask Cody the gym name, but we went to this gym. It's one of the biggest bodybuilding gyms in the country, but it's very like not like underground, but kind of like our gym, kind of how it's set up, how that is. That's how that is. But dude, people are like shirts off, like cameras on, like very like me, look at me, and like they had like places where you could like not stand because people might do certain things, and then oh yeah, it was crazy, and like oh yeah, people would be like freaking out. People like dudes would just be in their underwear in front of the thing, but like there's like
Posing in front of the mirror,
there's
yeah.
like there's like the 30s over here, so they're like in front of them and they had like a whole posing room, and I'm like, this is just not.
Now, see, you're
Just
younger.
I'm sorry, just to go on that part.
With the underwear.
I know you know where I'm going with this.
No, Danny.
Oh
Danny
my
fell.
God, Danny fell
Oh my God.
at Roberto's gym. That was commonplace. That was commonplace
But
to
for a
walk
different
in.
reason.
To walk
Oh,
into
what do you mean?
Roberto's.
We'll just listen.
To walk into Roberto's and to see a guy in his underwear. Danny, for
One
whatever
one guy in his underwear.
he would just strip down to his skivvies, to his tighty whities, and you're walking in and he's squatting 750 for reps. Oh yeah,
This guy was massive.
Yeah, he was huge.
John Lennon glasses.
Honest to God, the blue John Lennon glasses, the long ponytail, and he's in there in his tighty whities, and he's squatting over 700. He pulled over 700.
Yeah.
I mean, he was. Oh yeah. I mean, these.
He was a
Wow.
2,000 pound
And that's what I was going to
Easy,
say.
man.
2,000.
You're not used to seeing that,
Yeah.
but in our era, I know it sounds weird. Without the cameras, it was very common.
That's crazy.
It was very common.
Wow.
I mean, it's hysterical. I mean, you go back there, Mikey Altieri.
Yeah.
Mikey was teenager, 20s. Was he 165s?
165, yeah.
He's
Wow.
benching 440.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mike was like, he was ranked like, I think like number 3 in like the country or
Oh,
number
yeah.
2 in
This is
the
at like
country.
Roberto's, right?
This was
Or-
Roberto's,
yeah.
yeah.
At his body weight, yeah.
But yeah, we were
At
used
that
to walk.
age, yeah.
We were used to walking and seeing a guy in his tighty whities, or the meet I came back with. And again, Big Tone. It was a 3-way meet, full power meet, and he was multiply.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
my wife Doreen was there, and we're there, and we're
warden.
sitting there, and we look over, and Tone's getting ready for the deadlift, and he just strips down to his tighty whitey and puts his deadlift suit on, and my wife is going, I think I'm gonna take a walk. So
That's wild.
but even what these guys were saying at the meets back in the 90s, and then when we came back again around 2011, 12-ish, whatever you needed, there was someone there to help you.
Yeah.
There was always someone there to help you. And you could be competing against that guy. He would help you because, again,
It's just what it was.
it's the way it was. We're not getting rich off of this.
Yeah. Jimmy says it
Okay.
all the time.
We're not getting rich off of this, but it's going to help build character. It helps build character, and again, if you give of yourself to your opponent, you're going to be there to help anybody else up who might need it.
Yeah.
I can say this. I've met some really great people who I've formed relationships with at power meets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, honest to God, like really, really good people. So if it wasn't for powerlifting, I would have never met these people, and they would never became part of my life.
And it starts with
Yeah.
Big Gene. It starts with the organization that he started
Yeah.
back in, God, I still have the T-shirt for the first Pottstown Invitational. That's when we really started getting into it, and he really started with the RPS.
So RPS started
91.
locally.
Yeah.
That was like 91,
Gene was,
92.
I don't want to say he was born and raised, but I'm pretty sure he was born and raised in Royersford because my ex-girlfriend lived right down the street from him. So in the 90s, that's what I'm saying. Like, I met him at meets, but then he lived right down the street from my ex-girlfriend, and, like, I was friends with him. Like, I would go to his
Wow.
house.
He worked the front desk at Roberto's. He would work the front desk at Roberto's.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so again, we saw him all the time. We knew Gene before he was Big Gene.
Yeah, they knew Gene longer than me, but I've known Gene for a long time also. But they've known Gene longer than me.
But he put the groundwork in and the structure in for that atmosphere.
It's just crazy to think because how I always knew RPS or USAPL or all these other federations, like I see them as this Same thing with like Strongman Corp and all that kind of stuff. As this like massive conglomerate, like everyone is paying to be in these federations to do these big meets. You see this all the time. You know, this meet takes you here, and this meet takes you to the Arnold, and the Arnold goes to here. You know what I'm saying? Like it stacks, and it all starts with these, like with RPS, USAPL, these various federations, and it's just crazy to think that like 3 random dudes that I met one day just knew the people that started this, and I didn't even know that he lived in Royersford, or in like that, like worked at Roberto's, and the Roberto's was down the street. I happened to like go to the gym one day because Cody, like his cousin was working out there, and I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. It blows my mind.
There's a lot of strong people came from this area.
Yeah.
It's, you know, the Norristown area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it all started with Roberto's, 100%. No
That's
questions
crazy.
asked. Everything started with Roberto's.
And they had that reputation. Oh, you don't want to go there. And then all of the...
Because that's when men were men and things were different.
Yeah.
It was tough love.
Yeah.
Like real tough love. Like,
really tough
like I even though I was never officially a member, I know a ton of people from Roberto's. I'm friends with a ton of people from Roberto's. So I've heard all the stories, this and that. I know how these people act. I know the men that they are.
Yeah.
The consequences.
So if I gotta put hands on you, I'm putting hands on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just the way it was.
Yeah.
You know, today, you know, if I look at you wrong, I mean, Christ, I've been accused of doing stuff that I don't even know what I did.
Yeah.
And, you know, cops were involved. Going to the gym.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you even heard that story before, but
No.
I never even did anything wrong. And somebody saw me, and I don't know if they were mentally disabled or what they were, but they said something happened, and the cops came looking for me.
Did anything even happen?
No, it was worked out. I mean,
yeah.
there's cameras and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they saw that it was nothing, but yeah. You know what I mean? But back in the day, you do put hands on people.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
They
Well,
did.
it's even crazy at the bar. We had a situation where and like mind you, like a lot of pagans will come through.
Well, no one's perfect.
Well, I'm just saying. I know you like that one. But like so don't take this the wrong way. It's always the women that start a lot of these fights.
100%.
It blows my mind.
All you got to do is be a bouncer.
Yeah. And well, I'm not a bouncer, but
Well,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But anyways, but it's like years ago, like as you said, things are just to handle the parking lot or whatever would happen. But there's now a thing where it's like it's called touch and go, where once you lay your hands on someone in aggressive fashion, you gotta go, like no ifs, ands, or buts. And it's like no messing around. Like I don't know about like how that affects liquor licenses. I don't know anything about that, but I just know once she got aggressive and grabbed the guy's head, you gotta go. And then sometimes it escalates and the cops get called or whatever it is. But it's interesting because like she was freaking out. We're like, hey guys, you gotta get out of here. You can't touch people. Like we're all like getting very stern. And the dudes went, we understand. Have a great night. And she's free, dude.
I used to bounce, and just like you said, more than half was started by a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that time got physical. You know, if it's a dude, most of the time, if I ask you to leave, you left.
Yeah.
And that was it. No harm, no foul.
No harm, no
Come
foul.
back tomorrow. It's all good.
Yeah.
You know, who cares?
We have that happen all the time.
But yeah, women they like to start shit.
Yeah.
It's in their DNA. They can't help it.
That's why I started powerlifting. Get out of the house.
He's just chuckling.
The truth, Sonny. What are you gonna do?
It's so funny because sometimes like you'll say like you'll be like mid sentence and he just like you're riling him up.
You know what it is? He's very refined.
Yes.
He learned.
I've gotten
He learned.
refined over the
He
years.
learned. He did. He did.
Fine.
Sam, he had to be refined because of his, you know, his
3 women, 4 women.
The four-
no, I was gonna say because of his occupation or his past occupation.
True.
Yeah.
Me, I'm much better, but I still like to speak my mind a little bit.
And as you should. That's another reason when you guys asked me like why I think it was you when you asked me like why I started this, because I feel like there has to be something, and whether this goes crazy big or it just stays as big as it is now, people being able to go, okay, this is how I feel, because there's this my one of my best friends, Ben D'Arcangelo, said this to me, and him and I are very like-minded, right? And he goes, let me ask you a question, Matt. Should a person be able to stand in New York and say Adolf Hitler was the best person to ever exist? And I looked at him and I went, no, dude, that's gross. Who would ever believe that? And I'm sure almost everyone would go, that's gross. Who would say something like that? But he goes, no, that man should. Simply because if you want to have free speech, you have to have hate speech and you have to have love speech. If there's no hate speech, there's no love speech. So the whole thing is,
if there's no devil, there's no God.
There's no devil, there's no God. And the whole theory is to have men like you and people like to look up to you guys and be like, this is something I want to emulate, where the good wins out. So that's the whole thing. Where obviously you shouldn't say that. It's grotesque. It's awful. But to have, like, and then one of the reasons why I really wanted to have you guys on too was so like young men who get into the sport and are going through life and they look at three strong ass men, 72, and I had 400 pounds in my arms today, and you just picked it off my, like, dude, like that's what I'm saying. But it just comes down to like I want to have a platform where people can, within reason a lot of the time, but be able to be like, this is how it is, or this is how I feel, and you know what I'm saying, like that way there's no clickbait.
But see, the thing is, too, if you go back to that example about the guy in New York City, there's really two questions you always have to ask yourself before you say anything. Do I have the right to say it? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
But then, should you say it?
Yes.
And it's got to be based on, this is why, I guess at the core of who we are, it's the truth.
Yeah.
We could basically, Doug could say what he wants, Sonny says what he wants, but most of the time, even if it's an opinion, it's based upon the truth.
Yeah.
When they're yelling at me, that was horrible, you look like a frickin' idiot, blah, 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 doing that lift. Well, I know because they're telling me the truth. And if you can accept the truth, then you can move on and improve yourself. But it's all about the truth. If you want to offer your opinion, it's got to be based on some part of the truth.
Most people really can't take criticism. Really can't. They have
That's
a
true.
really hard time. I know I did it the best. No, you didn't. I mean, there was mistakes there.
Especially in my industry, all the time.
The young people this day and age, and again, I'm not sure how far this goes back, but guess what? Criticism is taken really. I mean, just not taking well.
Yeah,
it's true. And the funny thing, what he's saying is 1,000% correct. Where me, I love criticism.
Yeah.
In anything, in life in general, because I can learn from it and be better.
Yeah.
So why would I not want someone who knows something? I mean, I don't want some fool criticizing me. Know something. Know what you're talking about. But if you want to criticize me, okay, I'll gladly take it. Let me learn off of it, and I'll build from it. It's a great thing.
It goes back to succeed or failure, and that's wrong. That's completely wrong.
Okay.
You either succeed or you learn, as Doug was saying. If you don't do whatever, what did you learn from it? Failure is when you quit.
Yeah.
Failure is when you stop.
When
Correct.
you quit, go to Planet Fitness or something like that, where because you're being triggered or something.
You see, he does it again. You guys he says
This time it wasn't for me.
It's for me. It's my turn.
No, but my chef does that literally all the time. He goes, listen, you fucked up, but you're not gonna do it again. You're learning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True story. That's
Yeah.
life. That's what life is.
I used to tell
You know
when I was at the university, I always told my graduate students, doctors get paid the big dollars because they bury their mistakes. Yours are going to go back to mom. So understand what you're doing and be able to correct what you're doing or what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
So be able to reason through things, understand the data, know the whys, but also understand why something didn't work either.
Yeah.
Because they'll just go back to mom or go back home. Doctors, unfortunately, don't have that luxury. So,
What do you
either succeed or learn.
What do you mean they don't have
Well, doctors will bury their mistakes.
You'll never see it.
If they make a mistake, which
You
they
die.
do,
You die.
You die, or you're harmed.
Oh my God.
Those doctors.
Oh,
Yeah,
What
those
doctor
doctors.
were you
Doctors.
thinking about?
I was thinking because
In the teaching field, doctor.
in the teaching, I thought you because
no,
because when
medical.
you used to teach it at Westchester,
Westchester,
I was
yeah.
thinking I'm like, because a doctorate, and then you went doctors bury their mistakes, and I'm like in like a book, and then I realized
Matthew, bury your nose in the book.
The shredder.
shredder, and then I came to the conclusion wow,
Yeah, to get out of the last row, last seat, you have to bury your nose in a book.
I'm not doing good, dude. I've really the past couple weeks have just every time I see him,
A lot of editing you have to do.
no, I
Listen, the only person here doing good is Sonny.
yeah, Sonny.
He's doing well.
No, I'm always well. Hey,
He's
at
talking
this
to a
age,
microphone. He's doing well.
I'm doing well. It's good.
Yeah.
Life's good. I got to the bathroom, but it's beside that point. I'll hold it in.
Well, no, we'll probably wrap this up in
No,
a
we
little
won't.
bit too.
No, he can wait.
You want to?
We're doing something important here.
If you want to go, we can pause.
Nah, don't worry about
You sure?
it. Yeah, I'm good.
All right. I can hold it if you want.
That's what we call
Here.
a tripod.
I'm almost done.
Stop it. Behave.
That's why I said you got two tripods here. Okay, who are eyeballing you when you're lifting, you know?
We're here for each other. Yeah, just keep drinking. You'll be okay.
Yo. Dude, how do you do it?
Sonny,
I don't know how I do it.
Sonny
I just-
is never going
by
to
the
get back
grace
on the
of God,
podcast
that's
with
how
me
I do it.
again. He'll do it with Sam, but he won't do it with me.
I can't. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
You guys had me dying when we first started this. I didn't think I was gonna make it through.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, dude.
These guys, they're missing like so much.
I know. Well, I do have to go over all that because I don't want to like start recording and then you guys be like, oh, I didn't want because there are times like other people would like talk before, and I set it up and record it, so then it's all set up and ready to go. But then I was like, sometimes like someone would be like, oh, dude, like this happened today, and I'm like, oh, that was like a personal thing. Like, don't worry, like it's not.
Yeah, but at
Yeah.
the same time, if you say it once, you should say it twice,
That's fair.
or don't say it at all.
Or don't say it at all.
You know what I mean?
That's not a bad quote. I've never heard that one before.
You're learning
That's
a
a
lot
Douglas
today.
I am learning
That's
a
a
lot.
Douglas original right there.
Yeah.
Where's your paper? Where's your notepad? You should be taking notes today.
I'm
got
physically
video.
recording this
Oh, he's
thing.
got the video. Okay.
I'm
yeah.
recording
He doesn't
everything.
need
It's-
paper and pen. It's on camera.
Yeah,
Really?
This is
Yeah.
the
It's okay.
new era.
New era. Thank you.
New era.
Do you see why they let me in the group? I'm the tech guy, and I don't know shit.
I really wish you guys could have seen me. Me and my buddy Gav, when we started doing this podcast thing together. Shout out Stuttering in Silence podcast. We were literally in my old room. There's nothing in there. Just that one table we got for $5. And we were learning how to like put a microphone and like put it onto like a laptop, and like we didn't know what the hell was going on. It was the craziest thing. I didn't know how to edit a single video or do any of that stuff. Like
transpose that or overlay that to the gym. That's the whole point.
yeah.
You
That's
know,
another reason why I wanted to have you guys on too, because you guys can tell all the young kids that are out there.
You know,
like-
stop looking on your Instabook, Face, Twitter things. This is a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
You know, so you do bad today, you do good today, whatever. Tomorrow's another day. You know, get your job, get your families, the whole bit. But this is the lifetime thing. He's 72. I'll be 63 next month. Doug is the young, handsome guy.
True story.
You know, so
You said yeah.
it's that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
So, what was one of the most memorable comps one of you guys did? It's like Sonny. What was one competition that you were like, that was my favorite one?
1994 Worlds. Damn. Yeah.
That's when you pulled the 665, right?
Yeah, I did the 1710 total.
What weight? 203?
That was 209.
209.
No, that was a 220 class. But that was the master's class. I was 42 years old.
That's right. 40 is the cutoff, right? I think
39.
39.
You got 40 to 44, and then it goes every 4-year increments. It goes up after
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah. 39 is the submasters, and you could actually stay at 39. You could even stay in the open. I mean, you can go in open at any age.
You could do open.
Yeah.
Because
no
I know
matter how old
Ziggy's
you are.
Ziggy's
Exactly.
heater. Yeah.
Yeah. But then you got the submasters. I think it's like 36 to 39. Anything under that, I mean, is open.
It's open.
But any you can go at any age. You open. But just to classify that
Now he's a
older guys-
masters times 20, I think, right?
I
That's
don't-
what you are?
I think it's the dead class.
No. It's the Geritol class.
Geritol.
I mean, hell, I'm masters +3 or some
least,
shit. So
at least.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, Geritol. That's a T-shirt. Another one. Powered by ibuprofen, Geritol.
We have that T-shirt.
Yeah.
He forgot. He didn't take his
did.
ginkgo biloba
Yeah.
today.
Oh, yeah.
my ginkgo. My memory pill.
How many T-shirts do you guys have?
At least a half a dozen we made. I know we made at least
Easy.
a half a dozen.
Easy.
Yeah.
We have a lot.
Yeah.
I have all my meat T-shirts still. I put them away.
I'm talking the ones that we made.
Yeah.
We
We
made?
thought-
Yeah. At least a
I
half
would,
a dozen.
I would say around 9-ish.
Okay.
At least 9.
Now, speaking of meat T-shirts, I still wish I had all my meat T-shirts
You don't have them anymore?
because I wore the shit out of them. So
yeah.
they
Yeah.
got, you know what I
They're
mean?
worn. They're-
Like
Yeah.
a
Somebody
couple times,
washed it, that's it.
I see him show up, and I'm like, oh my god, I remember that. You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
the reason I don't have this shirt.
And he's like, well, where's yours at? I'm like, Sam, I wore the shit out of it. I threw it away 20 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I already have a lot
But
of those comp shirts.
I wish I had them.
Yeah.
I almost wore the first Pottstown T-shirt today,
Oh, sure. That would have been cool.
but he would have threatened me if I didn't.
Yes, true story.
I was surprised you didn't come in with it. When you rang on the doorbell, I was like, oh, cool, another mutant
I
mafia
would have told
shirt.
him to leave and go home and get it.
I don't have
And then back charge him for time. That's what I would have done.
You guys are getting paid.
Oh, yeah.
Charge him.
Was I not supposed to say that publicly? My apologies, people. This is free.
I thought we were getting a check in the mail, aren't we?
Sonny,
Weren't we getting a check in the mail?
There's no more checks. It's what's the Venmo thing? Phone?
Oh, Venmo. That's
Listen,
that's
listen,
Venmo.
listen. Say what you want, but Venmo is actually like really helpful, like low key. Like,
so's cash.
yeah, I have cash all the time.
You do?
Yeah,
I'm surprised for
I
a
get-
young man like yourself to carry
Well,
cash
I also
around.
get the other thing too is I also get paid as a check.
Okay, good.
So
That's
Paper
good.
note.
so
Cash
paper,
is good.
and then I go to the bank and I cash it.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. I always have cash. I've
Cash is king. It's always been.
well, yeah.
I was just going to say that, but you know what, Sonny? All kidding aside, that
Not
shit's
anymore.
dying out.
Yeah,
You're
dude.
right.
It's
You're
actually
absolutely right.
Yeah.
You know what?
Unfortunately.
it really is, because guess what? Almost some people don't even take. There's places that don't take cash.
I was
anymore.
just gonna
You
say
gotta be kidding me.
there was
In
a
the United States, what's the matter with us?
there was a video of a guy in California where
Well, it's California. That's your first mistake.
well, I
right there.
understand that. So, but the video went viral. I'm pretty sure it was California, and maybe like 60, whatever it is. He was an older gentleman,
Yeah.
and he goes into like a grocery store, and he it was a couple apples and like a water, and he goes, "I'm paying my legal tender," and he put his like cash on the thing, because they were like, "We don't take cash," and he goes, "What do you mean?" And they go, we don't take any cash. And it's all like on video. People are like recording it, obviously. Everyone has phones now. And he's like, I'm paying my legal tender, and I'm leaving with this stuff. And he left. I don't know if he got arrested or anything like that or anything happened, but he literally put like maybe a couple of bills and some coins, like put it on the counter.
Everywhere in the United States should take cash
100%.
if that's your choice to pay.
Yeah.
But you should, you know what I mean? Have a couple different ways to pay for it, but not accepting cash, that in itself should be illegal.
Well, it's also cheaper sometimes for restaurants. So, like, for example, last night I went to the Gravel Pike Inn with my chef. We were just hanging out, talking about work, and I paid in cash, but it was actually cheaper for me to pay cash.
Because
Because they
the
don't have to
credit
pay the
cards,
credit
you have to
2.5%.
pay a
Yeah.
percentage.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, for example, like it came out to like whatever it was, and then I paid the cash and I tipped, and I'm like, I never saw that before.
Yeah, that's again.
Yeah, no,
Cash is
it's-
also the most secure.
That's true.
Because it's what I like when they want me to do the automatic deposit and all of this stuff, through the phones and stuff. I'll tell them, I say, listen, I'm going to sit in my house with a $20 bill. And you could sit in your house. And I want you to steal the $20 bill sitting in your house that's in my hand. And they look at me like I have 3 heads. And I said, well, how are you going to do that? And they said, well, I have to come to your house. And I said, precisely. And if you come to my house, what do you think's going to happen?
You're not going to leave.
Or you're
You're
going to limp. Okay? So it's just secure. I just prefer cash. It's a lot more
I still
private.
wish we were on the gold standard though.
Yeah,
That would be pretty cool because there's a lot of stuff too with not a lot of backing.
What is it? Thank you, Richard Nixon.
Nixon, yeah, dude. China and Russia have been buying up all the gold. I don't know if you guys saw all that, but that's all right. I don't mean to get off the topic, but there's a lot of conspiracy stuff that I follow and.
Well, again, keep in mind, there's no such thing as conspiracy theories. It's either true or it's not. And if something is that far-fetched, then disprove it. It's going to be that easy to disprove.
The term conspiracy theory was coined by the U.S. government, and the U.S. government runs the #1 website on conspiracy theorists, and it literally makes fun of conspiracy theorists. But why does the government fund that and create and coin that term and run a website making fun of conspiracy theorists?
It's simple.
You already
Ignore
know
the
why.
government.
Yeah, no, I know.
Right.
It's just
Ignore the government and come lift with us.
Or just come talk to us, and we'll tell you the truth.
okay. Where do babies come from?
I don't know. Not that far.
Oh man, dude. So
let's talk about that
well,
bear. Where all these bears keep stepping on the platform at?
My sister.
I think he's low key gonna get up and smack you.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
he
listen.
is.
As long as it's not Boo Boo, he's good.
Yeah.
Yogi.
Yogi. Hey, Boo Boo.
How about that fucking picnic basket?
Well, you had asked the most memorable.
Do you not know?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, we got totally sidetracked.
We'll get you back on
You see
track.
what happens? See what happens when you
being
get old?
Being a speech pathologist, I can revert back and we could do topic maintenance and
Okay.
pragmatics and
Yep.
whatnot. So, no, I would have to say with me.
Big words.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, wow.
Apology accepted.
I would have to say when I weighed in at 231. It was the most I ever weighed. And it was a bench jeans, one of the RPS meets. And I broke the national record in the bench, raw. I did 430. 430.
Jesus fucking. What year was that again?
I was 52, 53. Wow. I did 430. That was my most memorable.
Do you see what I'm saying? Do you guys? I say to you all the time, no one your age should be able to lift like that. Like, it's crazy. There's people that I know that are your guys' age that cannot walk around.
It's sad for them.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
This is a lifestyle.
Yeah,
What we have is a lifestyle,
and it's a good
It
lifestyle.
absolutely is. Absolutely.
just-
You know, our whole lives revolve around it.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
besides
It's so
working,
impressive.
beside working, the gym is, and your family, of course. The gym is the next. That's my outlet. That's my home away from home.
Well, you see, when my lovely wife Doreen comes in.
Oh yeah, the warden has to be careful.
Yeah, the warden. Where does the warden go? She goes right to the free weight room, and she starts moving free weights, and that's where she loves to go. That's where she goes. She's right to the free weight room, and she's disgusting. She's absolutely disgusting because you show her once, and her form is absolutely perfect. I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. We're sitting here struggling, talking about 8
Yep.
eyeballs and stuff.
Yep.
You know, and she comes in and she, like you said it the other day when you
did.
saw her.
Yep.
Hey, you're, with the
It looked really good. She was coming out. She was, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's just disgusting because she picks up on things and she's incredible.
She probably doesn't
athlete.
have it like we were saying. She probably doesn't have another idea of like when I had to relearn how to bench when I came with you guys a year ago on Sundays and stuff. I had to relearn how to bench. She doesn't really. She might not know how to necessarily do it.
No, she did.
No,
learn
she
before.
she does.
I
know
didn't
how to
mean,
bench
yeah.
because she's been around us and she's helped us a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to remember. I mean, I'm not there with you guys anymore on Sundays, but when we were all competing, our Sundays was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was huge, and sometimes we had a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's you're helping us load the bar, you're helping us, you're spotting us, you're watching us. You know, holding the boards. You know, I mean, his wife has helped us many times. You know what I mean? So she's around us. She's paying it. I'm sure she's paying attention.
Yeah.
She's seeing what we're doing, and now she can, you know, copy it and put it to use for herself.
And man, can she cook?
I second the motion.
Oh, come on, the food.
Wow.
All right, let's not talk about food,
All
All
right.
right.
because you know what happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Geno's ain't here no more. Then I'm going to get mad. You know what I mean? We can't do that.
All right. So last thing to.
Doug, what's yours?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did we not break and get the state champ the same competition or no?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. We got the state competition championship on the same meet. Obviously for my class and
for
division
He
for
broke the
him.
state
You know
record.
what I mean?
What was the record?
I don't know what the record was. I hit it was 485, I think.
Raw.
I don't know if it was 275. I think that was.
Yeah, you were in the 75s.
Yeah, I think that was a 275. So.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then it held for a couple years, and my man Doug Castle, who's a complete animal, he broke my record,
Why
and
does that
he
sound
still
familiar?
holds today.
Doug Castle.
Bald
Name is
head,
familiar.
tattoos, large individual, extremely strong. His wife, Nikki Castle, is like number 3 in the United States.
I'm gonna have to look them up. I have to do some research.
Yeah,
But-
Doug and Nikki Castle are
Damn.
like the powerlifting couple of like the century.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Are they from this area?
yeah.
What area they're from?
Doug's originally from Norristown.
Is he really?
Yeah, and now he lives like up around the Limerick area. He's been in the gym before.
The name sounds familiar.
That's why I was like, I can't put a face to the
Yeah,
name,
you
but
look
it
nice.
sounded familiar. Like it rung a bell.
Yeah, I mean even their kids are strong, but those guys are like
Yeah.
like crazy high.
Yeah. But guys, I hate to do this. We've been doing this for like almost 2 hours, believe it or not.
Well, I'm going to end it right here then.
'Kay.
And this is what I'm going to do.
Do you want me to, here,
He's
Do you need
trying.
a little help? I wasn't sure.
he's,
I could have used a hand.
Well, why'd you put it so far away?
I didn't. Matthew did.
well, because I didn't know.
Honest to God,
saying.
I would have put it right here.
I can't win last for first.
All right,
I
Matthew,
would have put
tell
it
you,
right here or between
A lot of
us.
editing you got to do, brother.
No,
I'm not gonna
editing.
edit this at all.
No, there's nothing to edit.
There's
Sonny.
nothing to
What's the
edit.
problem with
Okay.
you?
What I would like to do is to say thank you to Matt
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
for having us here by giving you what was back in the day the absolute holy grail source of powerlifting, and that is an issue from March 1998. It was $3.50 per magazine if you bought it at a magazine stand.
Wow.
This is Powerlifting USA, and this is for you
Thank
to
you.
put up here in a frame. But back in the day, you had all the advertisements.
Yeah.
If you wanted to find out meets, here's where you looked. If you wanted meet results, we're all in this or in different volumes. I gave you one that we're not in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're not in there, so no offense.
It's not
No
cool.
offense.
It's not.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a start, though.
It's a start,
But,
but they'll get there eventually.
The interesting thing is, Mark Phillippe's on the cover. So back in the day, he was big time world's strongest man, and we'd like to give it to you for hosting us and putting up with us.
Well, thank you, dude. That's
So-
awesome.
There you go.
There you go, buddy.
And,
Yeah, because we were looking through this earlier. I can't believe the names that were in here.
well, the prices of things. They had creatine for what, $13?
Yeah. Like what? 500 grams of creatine
Yeah.
for like $13. I was telling him, if you go and you so I don't mess that up. If you go and you go to like GNC, it's like $70 for that much.
Oh yeah.
It's
I mean,
$70, $80.
And it's funny, all the other stuff. Anthony Clark is in there. He has
Yeah.
different advertisements in there, and the Z suit is in there.
Yep.
Z-suit, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
But
Pain and
yeah.
anguish that brings back.
Oh my God, I know. But like I said, that was the the gold standard. If you wanted anything for powerlifting today, you go on the internet and there's all
The
you know,
world
all
is
these
at your
sites.
fingertips.
But that's where the world was at your fingertips.
I'm
And it
going
was
to buy a framework. I'm going to put it right there.
Powerlifting USA.
That's
so,
amazing.
But we've all been in it from meets and such.
Well, send me the photo of you guys being in there if you have the thing, and I'll put it right behind Doug's head.
I have a copy of the article. I'll
Perfect.
have it on my phone, my
It'll be-
finger phone. So
Well, since you just said that, it's probably floating here after editing. It's like right above his head. Right over the,
I'll send it to you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's right
I'll
there.
send
See
it
it?
to you.
Yeah. Well, thanks,
Yeah.
guys. I really do. I'm sorry it took so long, but
It was worth the wait.
I really appreciate it because you guys are awesome, and a lot of the things you've taught me, things that I've had to absorb. It's awesome for a lot of these guys out there because on Spotify the demographic is between like 19 and 28. So a lot of the kids are not kids. I shouldn't say kids. I was 24, but a lot of these young men are either getting into lifting or they're coming from sports, or a lot of them are leaving high school and they've lifted and been in sports their whole life, and they're going to college and they're not doing this. They're not playing their sport anymore. So it's a good outlet for them. And I've had a lot of people email me and talk to me online where they're like, what did you do when you stopped wrestling and playing football? And I was like, I lifted. I met really cool people. Like go to smaller gyms, dude. You know, and I think when they see people like you and you, where you guys are breaking records, going to worlds, and have a family, the mutant mafia, I think it's really important for these guys to go, these are people that I can look up to, people who have great lives, people who actually give a fuck about them, and they can just see where just going to a gym can change their life.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a true story.
So I think you guys are like prime to talk about all this stuff. And that was one of the big things where I was like, I'm going to make sure this is set up. They're going to be here. We're going to get everything going, have everything fridged. We're good. But yeah, a lot of young men are going to listen to this, and they're going to be like, I see, because you knew them since you were 14 years old. There's a lot of kids that are out there that listen to it, and they're not that much older than that, and they can see like I can meet good people for the rest of my life, and I'm gonna have a community. You're 72 benching 315 pounds today for like two. Like what 72-year-old is doing that? Like that's what I'm saying. Like these kids can see that if I work hard, if I lift and I focus.
It wasn't 315.
What was it?
Right, it was only 295. It was only for a single. But there's no reason.
He's
but
old.
I've done it
He
before.
can't
That's
add well
beside the
anymore.
point.
You're
That's all right.
getting the lifts mixed up because Thursday he pulled 500.
Oh.
So you're kind of getting the math mixed up.
That's all right.
70. You're pulling 5. I just don't get it, dude. Like
What's there not to get, man? Look,
you're just a freak.
no, you put in the work. You
It's
get out the
instilled in him.
results.
That's
Bottom
all he
line.
knows. He
Yeah.
doesn't
That's all-
know
that's
anything
all
else.
it is.
Yeah.
It's
You know what I
putting in
mean?
the work. Long as you put in the work, I don't give a shit who you are. You put in the work, you get results. Bottom line.
Yeah.
That's all there's to it.
And that's why I think it's really important for a lot of these guys to like hear that. So thank you guys.
Succeed or learn.
Succeed.
Or learn.
Maybe I'll name it that. Succeed or learn with the OGs.
Matt, thank you very much for having
Thank you,
us.
brother.
You guys are
It's been
amazing.
a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We enjoy doing it, and 100% success for you.
Yep.
You guys are
Good luck.
awesome.
You know what I
Thank
mean?
you so
Do
much.
your thing. Keep doing it. You're doing great.
I don't want to.
Move you up to last row, first seat.